Comrades, thank you very much, comrades, for your patience. We just want to inform you, Comrade Zama, we just want to inform you that we're about to start. The Secretary General is here. We will be starting with our event, but we can continue. We can continue singing as he comes in. We will start now. Thank you for your patience. Amanda.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Hola, ANC Youth League, hola! YCL, Eita! Chigitela, Ufasimba, Chigitela! Forward with free education, forward! Eita, Sasko, Eita! Eita, YCL, Eita! Eita, Kosas, Eita! Each one, Ripilele, Eschimbox, Ripilele. Long live Eschimbalula, long live. Long live President Cyril Ramaphosa, long live. Long live the ANC, long live. Long live COSATU, long live. Long live the party, long live. Amandla. Away, two. Eita, Free State, Eita. Eita, Free State, Eita. Ola, Mangaung, Ola. of the ANC that is here, led by the national convener, President Peter Mokaba, and greet the leadership of the PYS structures that are here. We greet the leadership of the ANC, the province, and the region that is here. Comrades, can we settle down? Can we settle down? And greet yourselves, most important. Comrades, our program is going to be very short. It's going to be short because the ANC is having a gala dinner later. And some of us, or majority of us, must go and support the ANC gala dinner. So we're going to have, we've officially opened our program through the national anthem. We are going to have a welcoming message by the province, the convener of the Provincial Congress Preparation Committee. We will then have introduction of guests by the provincial organizer. We will be having there an address by the National Unity Team. And then we're going to have an introduction of our keynote speaker, who is the SG of the ANC, newly elected. And then we will have a vote of thanks, and then we will have closure. So it's going to be a very short program for me. So without a waste of time, let us sing a revolutionary slogan as we welcome the convener of the province to welcome us to this program. Comrade Kat.
Mandla, Mandla, Mandla. Long live the ANC Youth League, long live. Long live the ANC Youth League, long live. Comrades, our energy must display that today we are hosting the former Secretary General and former President of the Youth League. The energy must say it. So, comrades, let us sing with energy to show that we are here to host the Secretary General. Awuthola mntana, mntana, silwela lelizwe, mntana. Awuthola mntana, mntana, silwela lelizwe, mntana. Amabono adlala ngathi mntanami silwela lelizwe mntana awungethi mama thuthuze awuthuthuze silwela lelizwe mntana we're fighting for freedom. For freedom, tena silwela lelizwe, awe mntwana, Mandla, Mandla, we are the future. No one can stop us. We are the future. No one can stop us. Fight, young lions, fight. Fight, young lions, fight. No, thank you very much. Let me greet the leadership of the NYTT, led by the convener, Comrade Nytt. Let me greet the leadership of the ANC present here, led by Secretary General, newly elected, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, even our NEC members, the convener and the coordinator of the ANC Youth League. And it's a very happy moment for us that during our time, even when we are interim, we're able to deliver young people in the National Executive Committee of the ANC. It's a very happy moment that as generation is getting, as a society is getting younger, even the NEC of the ANC is now getting younger. We can even see the energy of the Secretary General that Lewatunabaka is a deployment and they are going to attend those deployments. There's no time for laziness yet. Comrades, on behalf of the PCPC of the Youth League in the Free State, we would like to welcome you in the Free State and in Mangaung, which is the birthplace of the ANC. And it's quite a historic moment that the ANC celebrates its 111th anniversary here in the Free State, and especially in Mangaung, where the ANC was born. And it should be a message to us that coming from here, it's all systems go. We must ensure that we rebuild the ANC Youth League, we rebuild the structures of the ANC Youth League. Here in the Free State, in a few weeks, we'll be going to a congress because we are tired of being interims. And we hope the same energy will be transferred to the NYTT as well. That we can't be comfortable that we are appointed in boardrooms and in Zoom meetings. We want young people to go and elect their leadership. But let us not only be focused on who's going to be elected, but we need a clear program of the ANC Youth League. We need a clear program that is going to advance the National Democratic Revolution. We no longer even speak about those things. We are not even focused on building the structures of the ANC. And we need the ANC that is active, that will be able to champion the interest of our people at large. So, comrades, as I sit down, I would like to welcome you to the Free State. We are happy, even business people of Free State, they are happy that ANC is now in the Free State. Even business is booming. So let us go and be social and assist the economy of the Free State. In Chadifasue, Manta!
Long live the United States of Peter Mokaba, long live! Manda! Way two! Thank you very much, the youngest convener of the ANC League in the thousand. Comrade Ted, the age of 29. Comrades, we are going to move forward with our program. We are going to call Comrade Tower, the provincial organizer, to come and introduce the guests that we have here. Comrade Tower, can you come? Can we sing a revolutionary song, Comrade?
Away, two! acknowledge structures. Perhaps I'll acknowledge one person per structure. Because we did not see all of you people who are here. Let me start with the leadership of the agency. That is here. I'll start by introducing the IPC members who are here. I'll start that side. I see Comrade Mokaba, the former chairperson of the ACP, and President IPC member, Comrade Mokaba. I can move back. And then we'll go to other members of the IPC who are not here. We also acknowledge you already. Second, let me go to the leadership of the ANC, NEC that is here. We see Comrade Angela Lisa, the former leader of the ANC. Comrade Stella, Javel, Comrade Anti Mahabishala, Comrade Louis Together, and Comrade, I think now the Comrade Peter Mokaba, and other comrades that we are not this side. Perhaps we must also acknowledge the newly elected NEC members of the ACP, Comrade Joy Maimela and Comrade Nytt. And then the NYPC of the NCC, we have already introduced Comrade Peter Mokaba, Comrade Comrade Joy Maimela, the coordinator. Comrade President Mokaba, the organizer. Comrade Stella Mondala. Comrade Garabo Mahali. Comrade Precious Banda. Comrade Pinky Mbele. Comrade Masia Hassan. Comrade Andela, there's noise there that you don't understand why I'm making noise. There's noise there. Then you'll be quiet. Then you'll be quiet, comrade. Then you'll be quiet. Comrade Mota, Comrade Tideng Subutoba, Comrade Isaac Isaac. Yeah, I think those are computers on this side. And the rest that we did not see. Then we'll just acknowledge. Oh, Comrade with the guys for that. We'll just acknowledge the PCPC members from other provinces who are here. PCPC members from this province, and NEC members of the NCP. And we'll then go to posters. The spokesperson, Mr. Spokesperson of Posters, Comrade Douglas Ngobeni, Comrade and then we have the SG of Posters, Comrade Makapani. And then we have the leadership of Stars Group. We have Comrade President on the other side. I think we're done with the introductions. The list is made. Thank you very much.
Manda, comrades, can we make a plea? Can we make a plea, comrades? We can't behave in front of the next. We can't. We don't want the next to go back and say, that is thief, that was ever easy. NYTT. Dale, dale. Hoy dale, dale. Ay, 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 Yamaza. Ay, 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 Yamaza. Hoy dale, dale. Hoy dale, dale. Hoy dale, dale. Hoy dale, dale. Ay, 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 Yamaza. Ay, 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 Yamaza. Ay, 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 Yamaza. Ay, 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 Yamaza. Hoy dale, dale. Hoy dale, dale.
It's not muffin, this one.
Starting from the national leadership of the African National Congress, as led by Comrade Ufi. All of the NEC members who have joined us here today, who, by the way, are all former NEC members of the ANC Youth League. From national to local, who've joined us here today. We've seen previous NEC members. We've seen various provinces of the Youth League that are present. And we can indeed confirm that this is indeed a national program. And lastly, comrades, greetings to the members of the NYTT, the coordinator, Comrade Joy Mamela, and all NYTT members, and members from the various provinces, as well, comrades, as our PYA partners. The leadership of SASCO is here, the leadership of the YCL is here, as well as the leadership of COSAS. Comrades, we are not going to be long because we are quite behind time in terms of our schedule, and also noting that we know that many of the comrades who are here are actually here to listen to the brand new elected SG of the ANC, who's brand new from the box. Samantha! But comrades, as the Youth League, we have a short message that we want to send to the ANC. As the ANC has just come from a national conference with a brand new mandate and an ANC that is going to deliver the January 8th statement tomorrow. And our short message, comrades, is quite clear, is that if that message tomorrow does not characterize the year of 2023 as the year of youth, then we are not interested in that message, comrades. If the message tomorrow is not going to speak to the plight of young people, the fact that young people, all of us who are here today, majority of us who are here today, are unemployed, then we're not interested in that message, comrades. If the president stands on stage tomorrow and does not tell us specifically how he is going to ensure that the ANC-led government and the ANC as a liberation movement is going to speak to the issue of youth unemployment, which is a crisis in this country, then we are not interested in that message, comrades. If the message of tomorrow does not speak about the fact that we are living in the dark as young people, and as young women in particular, we live in fear of our lives because we do not have electricity, then we are not interested in that message, comrades. If the message tomorrow of the president does not speak to social problems that face young people in our communities, substance abuse, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, then we are not interested in that message. Therefore, as the former president comes here and the SG of the ANC comes here to speak about one of our former presidents, which is Comrade Peter Mokaba, whom today we are celebrating 64 years. What we are expecting in his address and in the address of the president tomorrow is specific, clear guidelines on what is the ANC's plan to respond to the plight of young people in the country. And that is our clear message today to the ANC that we are giving to the SG to go and relate to the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. Amandla! Amandla! Viva ANC, viva! Roar, young lions, roar! I hope the message is loud and clear, SG. That even on that land question, we will not rest until our land is restored back to its rightful owners. Without compensation, any message that waters down that resolution will meet us ready on the street. Comrades, the moment that we've been waiting for, we are going to request that we exercise maximum discipline, as we will be addressed by the highest decision-making body of the ANC. We are going to request, because we respect protocol, we'll be requesting amongst the NEC members of the ANC that are here to come and introduce to you our keynote speaker. The good thing about this NEC comrade is that even if we did not succeed in ensuring that 65-year-olds no longer participate, but many generations of the youth league are in that NEC. So we've got many generations the DP, we've got the former convener, but many. So we're going to request the former Deputy President of the ANC, Comrade National Executive Committee member, to come and introduce the Secretary General of the ANC, DP.
No, thank you very much, Comrade Joy. Thank you very much, Comrade Joy, who is the program director, who is also the coordinator of the Youth League nationally. Comrade Onweba, who is the convener of the Youth League nationally. That is the leadership which have convened this important program. But before I announce and introduce the guest speaker, it is important to acknowledge the former Deputy Secretary General, the former Secretary General, Comrade Busa Ulemo, our SG, a young diamond, which was found by the movement in the Northern Cape, which was later polished, and it is polished now. All other leaders, comrades, if there are NEC members have been acknowledged. Abo comrades Stella Ngabeni, Abo comrades Chadima Beshala. But I'm going to introduce a young person. I know there's a confusion, even in our country. There was a special arrangement which was made after young people responded to the clarion call which was made by Oliver Tambo on Radio Freedom in 1985 to make South Africa ungovernable. If you talk about the youth, it's young people who are between the age of 14 and 25. That is the youth. In South Africa, a special arrangement was made because of that call of 1985 to increase the age of 14 and 35. It was a special arrangement. Some of you who belong to a category of special arrangement. Now I'm going to introduce a young comrade who was discovered by the movement at a younger age, at the age of 14, in a township called Buchabelo, here in the Free State. This young comrade, it was a rough diamond, discovered by the movement, by the ANC. He was part of COSAS, very vocal, very energetic, an organizer. He was then nurtured by the movement. He was taken to Lutuli House by the youth of this country. It was Shell House in those days. It was not Luthuli House. He was then elected to be part of the organizing in the Youth League. He was very young. He was then taken to be the Secretary General of the ANC Youth League. Later, he became the President of the ANC Youth League. Now, if you go back to the historical archives, it was only Mandela who took over from Pilki, who was the President of the Youth League, who was a student at Fort Hare University. At that time, the Secretary General of the Youth League, which Comrade President, this history no one talks about, it was Sobukwe. That history is always not elevated. That a person who crafted the program of 1949, the program of action, it was Sobukwe at Fort. At that time, the president, it was Jeffrey Pilki. Mandela then took over. It was only Mandela who became the Secretary General, who also became the president. Now, this comrade, which I introducing, is the only person who became the Secretary General of the Youth League, who became the President of the Youth League. Now, through that generational program, the comrades who are sitting here, who are also sitting here, they came with this program, which is called the generational program. They went to a conference called Ye Mangawu in 2012. They came with Comrade Fikile Mbalula. They said it must be the SG. But in that conference, the generation never succeeded. But the generation was never tired. Because the generation knew the generational agenda. It is not an event, it is a process. That is why the generation of 1944, which said economic freedom in our lifetime, that economic freedom only came in 1994. Many years later, that generation fought. It came with Comrade Fikile Mbalula. Today, we are introducing Comrade Fikile Mbalula, who is the Secretary General of the ANC. It then shows, comrades, it shows that generational program, it is going to succeed. There is no way that the generational program of economic freedom in our lifetime, it cannot succeed when we are having Comrade Fikile Mbalula, who is the Secretary General of the ANC. It means the program which is led by Comrade Onyaba, which is led by Comrade Joy, it is going to succeed. Comrade Mbalula has been given many tasks, is a try and tested comrade, is suited to address a memorial lecture of Comrade Peter Mokaba, a former president of the Youth League. Comrade Fikile Mbalula, Comrade Max, a devotional song, comrades.
Viva ANC Youth League, viva! Kiwata-wata! Kiwata! Kiwata-wata! Kiwata! Hey, ta! Ta! Hey, ta! Ta! Kiwata-wata! Kamarumo! Kia marumo! Marumo! Kia marumo! Asinta! Kia marumo! Marumo! Kia marumo! Each one. Freedom or death. Victory certain. Freedom or death. Freedom or death. Freedom or death. Amandla. Freedom. Freedom. Economic freedom. Economic freedom. In our lifetime. In our lifetime. Amandla. Long live Peter Mokaba, long live. Long live Peter Mokaba, long live. Thank you, comrades. Comrade convener of the ANC Youth League, Comrade Manzeba, Comrade coordinator, Comrade Joy, my man, the entire NYTT of the Youth League, and to you, comrades, the ever-roaring young lions of the African National Congress. Comrades, you are the future and no one can stop you. And when we say uzoyithola kanjani, uhlele khoneni. Uzoyithola kanjani, uhlele khoneni. The ANC Youth League, Peter Mokaba used to say it is a boomerang. The ANC Youth League is an important organ of the African National Congress. I want to greet the ANC Youth League in their different generations. And to those present here today, starting with Andile Lungisa, as the former Deputy President of the ANC Youth League, and his generation. I greet Comrade Vuiswa Tulelo. If I were to strike a personal note, who I had an opportunity to work with as my Deputy Secretary General. Comrades, former leaders of the Youth League on the podium, Comrade Tandima Ambeshala, who is now here as well as a member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. Comrade Stella Ndabeni, a member in government who's a minister, coming from the ranks of the ANC Youth League, but also elected in the past conference as a member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. Comrades, you have achieved what we could not achieve. And I want to remind you, as Peter Mokaba speaks to us from the grave, you, comrades, revolutionized the ANC. It is you, here in Mangaung, who introduced in the ANC strategy and tactics for the first time, when the ANC was celebrating its century of existence. The Youth League said the next century can be nothing else but economic freedom in our lifetime. Because the generation of Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, Anton Limbede, Nkolisi Majombozi, Congress Mbata, have achieved freedom in their lifetime. When you introduced in the strategy and tactics a shift that then talked about radical economic transformation, it is the ANC Youth League in Midrand the next century should be about the toiling struggles for economic freedom. That is what you have achieved in revolutionizing the ANC. The second part, in the last conference, and I will explain to you, that radical economic transformation in the ANC, you then brought the resolution in the ANC on the land question. It is the ANC Youth League that championed the resolution in the ANC that as part of this economic freedom, it cannot be a hollow slogan. It must have a program of action, and that program of action became part of it giving meaning to this economic freedom, the land question. And then the Youth League said, we want land without compensation. Land expropriation without compensation. That is the resolution that was adopted in the ANC conference that was brought by the ANC Youth League. The ANC Youth League went further to define what are the tasks for the youth that the ANC must take up. And in those tasks, comrades, you began to talk to the reality that face an unemployed youth in our country. You began to say, what are we going to say to the youth that is disengaged, that is exposed to drugs, that is exposed to early teenage pregnancy? You began to say that the problem of the South African youth is a problem and a challenge of disengaged youth. And that the ANC government must implement what we call the National Youth Service Program, massification, to address the disengaged youth. When you go around the township, 12 o'clock during the day, the youth are toiling in the streets unemployed. But when you go deeper to what is in that youth, you find that majority of them have dropped out at matric. Majority of them have dropped out because of early teenage pregnancy. Majority of them are exposed to drug abuse. Now the youth of South Africa don't want handouts, mudenge. That is why the response of the ANC Youth League to that problem was that in order to skill these young people, who in terms of our times, it was characterized as the lost generation, and we contested that notion that we are not the lost generation. We are the militant, vibrant, death-defying youth of the African National Congress. We are not lost. That is why Peter Mokaba joined the struggle at the age of 19 and went to complete military training and went to be arrested and went to Robben Island and came back and led the South African Youth Congress, which was launched in 1987 in Cape Town. And at the last president of the South African Youth Congress. And that is why that youth that Peter Mokaba led said, victory is certain, freedom or death. Victory is certain. Now the youth of the ANC today is taking from 1944 to Peter Mokaba, and it is a battle cry, economic freedom. You comrades must not apologize for being militant. You must not apologize and ask for things. You must champion the cause of the youth. You must not go to the ANC begging and asking. You lead and shape the ideological direction of the ANC and influence the direction the ANC must take. That is your task. Kgalema Motlanthe says the ANC Youth League is a necessary problem of the ANC. Militancy, comrades, means you are driven not by emotion but by the ideological expression of what is wanted by society. Militancy is not anger, it's not hollow slogans. Militancy is about where are we going. Militancy is not about slaughtering people and vandalizing and character assassinating leaders. It's about giving political direction to the revolution. Comrade Joy and Comrade Noneba, you will lose the youth if you start speaking like old people. We want you to represent the view of the youth and lead the youth struggles in our country and tell the ANC what does the youth want, and not just be there and mimic political leaders without giving political direction. Comrades, Peter Mokaba and his generation responded to the call, render the country ungovernable and the apartheid machinery unworkable. Ramushwana was a militant president of the youth of our country. Peter Mokaba and his generation responded to that call. They then began, through South African Youth Congress, to recruit the youth of our country to swell the ranks of Umkhonto weSizwe. But they did not just join Umkhonto weSizwe. They joined Umkhonto weSizwe and became soldiers who were armed with the revolutionary theory. They were not directionless. And they recruited a whole lot of the youth into the ranks of the ANC. And that is why when we sing the slogan, Kia Marumo Asicha, we are talking about the arms. And we are talking about charging at the enemy in defense of our people. So those were slogans with meaning. But Peter Mokaba understood that when we ascended to political power, we needed to harness the militancy of the youth. But harnessing the militancy of the youth, we were not going to do it through slogans. We then had to begin to say, what are the tasks for the youth having come into power? We said, when the Youth League was formed, relaunched in the country in Siyabuso and Ndebele, the task of the youth is to rally the youth behind the banner of the ANC and champion their socio-economic interests. And that is why the struggle for job creation in our country must be led by the ANC Youth League. No one else can lead that struggle better with clarity of thought either than yourselves. We come from the conference because if the ANC, because Kgalema Motlanthe says as you grow up you learn fear. So Mbalula, when he grows up, he chooses words. And now he's the Secretary General. He's not going to be like Noneva. Noneva must get out of the way and then we'll bring them back. But they must be socialized in the politics of the African National Congress. But they must not apologize. You must teach young people discipline. You must teach them ideology. The advanced brigade of the African National Congress. Gathered here in this hall, you are the forward brigade that is expected to explain to the youth what the ANC will do for them. It does not mean that because we are in power, you cannot occupy the streets and lead the struggles of young people. Comrades, the struggle is not over, the struggle continues. When the ANC agreed to autonomy of the Youth League, it was not delivered on a silver platter. You must defend it. We suffered for defending the autonomy of the ANC Youth League. The autonomy of the Youth League does not mean a state of total independence. We understand that correctly. But autonomy allows you to think and to be revolutionary and to be militant. Not this youth that is frog-marched by leadership and carrying out instructions. When somebody is going to speak on behalf of the ANC Youth League, he must get some lecture from some leader. And the only role of the ANC Youth League is to marshal branches to vote for a particular leader. The ANC Youth League role is to challenge the ANC with ideas. Because if the leadership of the ANC is too comfortable, they will forget the masses, comrades. We will forget the masses, and the Youth League is there to remind us. Don't say it only outside. Stand in the platform of the ANC and challenge the ANC politically. That is your role that Peter Mokaba has delivered for you. And you must defend it. We don't want sheepish ANC Youth League. The ANC Youth League that consult before they think. We don't want that. You must think and then we'll think with you. You think that the ANC, I hear you, Comrade Noneba, you say, if January statement does not include this, and then it is not part of us, you must shape the January 8th statement so that it produces what is in the interest. You are the ones who must advise the ANC for the youth of the country. The youth of the country, comrades, are saying to us, we want to go to universities, but when we finish these universities, we go and look for employment, and before we get employment, they want experience from us. And as the youth of the country was saying, let's get experience whilst on the job. That's what the youth want. And that's what is in the manifesto of the ANC. Where will you get the experience if you were not employed anywhere? And it must start in government. Government must be able to train and employ and absorb young people and give them experience. That's what must happen. We must not apologize for who you are. Let me tell you about Peter Mokaba. Peter Mokaba did not clamor for positions. At some point, he was a deputy minister in President Mandela's cabinet. And for whatever that was the prerogative of the president who followed, Comrade Thabo Mbeki, he did not appoint him in his cabinet. And as the Youth League, we were very militant. We said, how can President Mbeki, when we fought for him to lead as a product of the ANC Youth League, how can he drop our president just like that? We were very much angry, we were not militant. And Ramushwana, in his true style, convened us to his home in Wendywood and said, comrades, the day you are going to march and challenge the ANC president for a position, that will be the death of the revolution. To serve in cabinet is a privilege, it's not a matter of principle. And I implore upon you to support the president. It is his prerogative. We can't all of us fight for positions. Here is a man, here is a comrade who could have abused the ANC Youth League and said, take him on. He said to us, don't do it. And if you do it, I will challenge you. And he gave us the right politics. Why is that important? Now, comrades, you have achieved something that we did not achieve. When Peter Mokaba served in Mandela's cabinet, we saw ourselves in him, even though we were not in cabinet. But the fact that our president was in cabinet, we saw ourselves in him. Today, you've got more than 5 ANC Youth League people in cabinet. And today you have captured the center of the ANC as a Secretary General. That is you. You did not do that for Mbalula. You do that for the generational mission. And when my neighbor and Joy called me and said that they've nominated me to be the Secretary General, I said, even if I lose, I know where I come from. And that will happen to every one of us. All these comrades who are here, from the Youth League ranks, you never forget where they come from. Even today, as we gather, we don't forget Peter Mokaba. Peter was born on the 7th of January, on the eve of the ANC January 8th. Today we remember him. Peter Mokaba was full of life. He will go to a party, he did not drink, he did not smoke. He will go to a party, but he will not drown. He understood perfectly that to be among the youth in a party does not compromise your identity. Matsatsi a o kry motho a apere t-shirt ya ANC a tauwe ko semongolong. Ha tswa mo o lebetse di revolution. He thinks that it is a revolution. Kanti, the most important thing, comrades, is that you must live life to the fullest as young people. You must be where young people are. But you must lead them politically and imbue them with the ideology of the ANC. You must not drown in a beer hall. You must dance and do all the other things that young people do. Revolutionaries are not saints, comrades. They too love things, but they don't drown in those things. And that is what is important. So Peter Mokaba was a person full of life. Peter Mokaba loved education. When Peter Mokaba died, he had achieved Masters in Economic Development with the University of London through distant learning. He understood that revolutionary theory without academic base, it is not complete. When we talk about the cadre, that is what is important. Peter Mokaba understood that the movement must always produce organic intellectuals. And he was not afraid to think. At some point, he said, kill the Boer, kill the farmer. And the ANC said, you are out of policy, because the Youth League must always follow the ANC policy. You influence the ANC policy. That is why you are formed. Once that policy is adopted, you've got to defend it. Now, Peter Mokaba came with this slogan that we're always singing. He did not listen. He went on, and Mandela warned him, Comrade Peter, please, can you follow the policy of the African National Congress? And Peter modified and said, kiss the poor, kiss the farmer. But still chanting and contextualized that the slogan, kill the poor, kill the farmer, when the guerrillas were entering the country from Limpopo, inside the country, the Boers in the front line deployed the commandos, who were the farmers. And the commandos will capture and kill guerrillas in Limpopo on the other side of Bembe, coming from the side of Louis Trichardt, crossing the Limpopo River from the side of Zimbabwe, infiltrating the country. And then the Boers will kill our comrades. And that is why, deep in Angola, they composed a slogan and said, when you enter and infiltrate the country, kill the poor, kill the farmer. It had to change because now we are in power. Peter then said, kiss the poor and kiss the farmer. Peter Mokaba understood, comrades, the distinction between emotion, anger, and militancy. You know what moved us as revolutionaries? It is the ideas. It is the suffering of our people. Any injustice meted against one of our own, it makes us move and occupy the streets and fight racism. That is militancy. It's not anger. Anger is when you are emotional and then you are just ravaging at random without any substance. Now, militancy, what makes you to stand up against an injustice meted against one of your own? And that makes you to go to the streets. It is militancy. It is because our revolutionary movement in its outlook is anti-racism. Our revolutionary movement is against tendencies such as tribalism. Ramshwan understood that as much as he was steady, he was growing in a South African nation that was characterized by many tribes. And they never, when we look at leadership, begin to say what language is he speaking? Where does he come from? Why is ANC dominated by Xhosas or Zulus? What about the Pedis? What about the vendors? The ANC have always understood and defeated the demon of tribalism. The very thing that led to the existence and the formation of the ANC was ANC uniting the African people in what we define today in the content of the National Democratic Revolution as a liberation of Africans in particular and blacks in general. The ANC was about the unity of the African people. In 1912, unity of the African people when African people were fighting wars and even fighting among themselves. The ANC emerged and united them against tribalism, petty tribalism. As we remember Peter Mokaba, Ramshwan, through Seiko, we campaigned and fought against destructive tendencies like Mulo. Unubulabo Makoko, older people in the villages were being killed. And then they were being associated with witchcraft. Peter Mokaba led the ANC youth through SEICO against those tendencies. The ANC Youth League of Peter Mokaba, of Anton Lembede, must champion the cause in the organization to fight against petty tendencies in the ANC. Don't look at the person what language he speaks before you elect them. Look at the cadre. You have achieved what we never achieved in our time in the Youth League. You've got the Youth League that is led by young women. I'm very proud standing here and see so many young women in the ANC Youth League. We have never had that. But we did have a Secretary General of the Youth League who were women, Vuiswa Tulelo and Filippo Trite. The ANC Youth League is your vehicle, comrades. And as the Secretary General of the ANC, when we remember Ramshwa, we must work and not be curtailed from convening a conference because of money. We are going to raise money and you are going to have a conference. We are tired of task teams. We want leaders. If we do not launch the ANC Youth League, it will be an indictment on me, it will be an indictment on all of them I serve with in the ANC National Executive Committee. We are going to take you to conferences screaming and kicking. And help us, comrades. Help us and give the youth of South Africa the leadership it needs. But iskabala tsamaya na ya conference la tsamaya ka mapuna-puna. You must debate leadership and then you must debate the issues. You must have an organization. I don't care what Joy thinks or not never. I care about what you members of the Youth League you are going to give us. Because I don't want in the next 5 years to be babysitting ANC Youth League. I want before April conference youth. We want to give the youth of our country leadership of the Youth League. And that leadership is going to come here in this hall and everywhere in the country. You must work to find each other. You were divided by the ANC conference. You even forget your own conference. Others were choosing this direction, others were not choosing this direction. Now, when we remember Peter Mokaba, and the best birthday we must give to him is to report to him. And I speak to Ramshwana because, comrades, when Peter was removed, he said to me, Comrade Secretary General of the Youth League. Let's go to Tulia. And reclaim the ANC. Peter Mokaba, when he died, he was the head of elections of the ANC. He was at 6th floor, we were at 7th floor. And then he died. And today we are reporting to him on the 7th. Comrade President, everything you taught us, we kept it alive to this day. And today, when we celebrate your birthday, we are talking on the podium when the ANC Youth League have achieved the result of occupying the central position in the African National Congress. Comrades, not only that, more than half of the ANC National Executive Committee, it is led by the ANC Youth League. Ramshwar, we don't know what that result will mean in terms of the us. The question is, how organized are we to defend the revolution? Our opponents are worried about us because they think in this existential crisis, was not the business of everybody. It meant death. It meant everything taken away from you. The privilege of getting educated. The possibility of becoming anything in life was taken away from the youth of our country. Comrades, we are not going to reminisce about the past. It is upon us now to determine what must happen going into the future and defend the African National Congress. Now, the renewal program is a program of the ANC, and that renewal speaks to us. If we don't change our ways of doing things, our people will take this right of theirs to vote away and face the other direction. The self-serving attitude among some of us must go away. We must not defy the organization and to serve as a moment of friendship. We came from a conference, comrades, we contested. Other people lost there. And other people lost, but they are still our comrades. We must not use conferences when you are in power, you chase comrades. You think that is politics. We need everybody now in the ANC. The only ones who will let go are those who are incorrigible. And anyway, they've decided to leave without even touching them. We know, comrades, of some moves of some angry comrades who want to form political parties in order to decrease the majority of the ANC. Look at them and understand what makes them to be so angry. We have reached a moment now in terms of the ANC where we've got to be principled. We are not going to do things that will compromise the ANC. People are stealing, they are running down municipalities, and then they expect us to look at them and smile. It's not going to happen. You corral, you work against the ANC from within, we find you, we warn you, you don't listen, we will trample upon you. Because the moment of renewal does not need English, comrades. It needs the truth. The moment of renewal in the name of Peter Mokaba does not need a lot of English and concocted theories that are not based on any tools of analysis we've been taught. The moment to act and to act decisive is now. Anybody, and I'm saying now, anybody who serves as a mayor, as a councillor, as a cabinet minister, they must earn it. If you are a cabinet minister, you don't work, why should we keep you there, sleeping on the job? Cabinet ministers must be busy. And my job as the SG is to tell the president, no to learn, no. We must not speak a lot of English. President, why are you keeping people who are sleeping on the job? When we've got an abundance of talent here, we want runners, Sifunga Makichi. You can't have a minister of transport sleeping on the job. Cabinet ministers must be busy. And my job as the SG is to tell the president, "Long to learn, that's my job. We must not speak a lot of English. President, why are you keeping people who are sleeping on the job? When we've got an abundance of talent here, we want runners, sifuna bagijimi. You can't have a minister of transport. You can't have a minister of transport who is not even known by his own child. And then umuntu minister. Batikana huwa. Who's the Minister of Agriculture? Who? Who's the Minister of Arts and Culture? Who? Who's the Minister of Economy? Who? Ministers must be known. They must do their job, or they will ship out. I'm saying that, comrades, even if it means I've got to say it for myself. The ANC gave me a job of transport. I did not sleep. And then I'm happy for the